Hi viewers, welcome to another episode of your Daily Rant. Um, First of all, I want to say thank you those who subscribe on my live streams every day that I come in. I just want to say thank you very much. I do really appreciate it. I appreciate the support, the little comments that I get. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna come here and I'll give you that a different sort of content that you don't see on social media, that you don't see on TikTok or YouTube or any other of these platforms. I'm going to speak passionately today. I'm going to speak from the perspective of a human being. This is not about centered on men, centered on women, centered about humanity. You see, when we look at social media, I do talk a lot. I do a lot of reaction videos about women complain about men here and there, and I have a staunch dislike for the extreme. I call them the feminazis. The feminazis are the extreme, feminized mindset that everything about men is horrible. But today, I do sincerely understand where they're coming from. I do understand why that transpired in the first place. Because what I'm going to talk about today is going to trigger you. You're going to be triggered. I don't care you're a man. I don't care you're a woman. You're going to be triggered. Because there is this narrative that we've created out today that when you have this sort of conversation, you have to do it in a soft tissues. You have to use the right word. I even checked AI. How do I go about this conversation? It's telling me, because if you say it the way you need to say it, they're not going to take it that way. It's not going to affect. No. Fuck that. Excuse my French. Fuck that. I am going to say it the way it needs to be said. The way it's in your head that you know how it needs to be said. I'm going to say it. And I'm not saying this because I'm expecting you to give me a follow, give me a subscribe. I'm going to say it because you know what? I'm a human being. And the truth need to be said. Quickly, before I jump here, before I start going off my head, pause, like this new generation, they say, someone is crashing out. I'm going to crash out. And I genuinely want to crash out. And I'm going to crash out. Because the truth needs to be said. The truth has to be said. This is not in your feelings shit. The truth needs to be fucking said. We have some serious men problem in this world. We have some fucking serious men problem. Today, feminazis, I'm on your side today. Ooh, I am on your side today. If you're a man watching this content, if you skip this video, may the good Lord continue to punish you. Yes. If you skip this video as a man, you are part of the problem. If you skip this live stream right now, you are fucking part of the problem. Because number one, you gotta ask yourself some serious, simple question. How would you feel if you get a phone call by the police? You get a phone call by someone telling you that your daughter has been raped. How would you feel? I'm going to hit you where it's really hard. But before I show the video, I'm going to play a quickly disclaimer because the conversation is going to be very sensitive and I'm going to speak passionately. This is not coming from a place of hate. I don't hate men. I don't hate women. For me, it's all about having critical thinking and speaking things the way it needs to be said. And having conversation based on what needs to be had. This is not taking side at all. I know I do joke a lot. We laugh, but this is not a laughing matter. This is some fucking serious problem. I'm a big proponent and advocate for men in terms of a lot of men, especially in Australia, they unalive themselves every day. On an average of 9 people unalive themselves here in Australia every day. Every day. And this is a part of the problem. Women get unalive themselves too, but you want to know the reason why? This is one of the reasons why. And I've been saying it. I'll be one of those people that has been saying it constantly that the mental health situation, the way we look at mental health is that there's a lot of funding that goes, mental health funding, women, we need to put this mental funding on women to protect. No, with the mental health funding needs to go through men. Men are the one who really needs the help the most. Because if you watch what I'm about to show you, I'm going to give you a presentation that will blow your mind. But before I do it, I need to put a quick disclaimer. It's just a minute. So hang in there. Listen to the old mumbo jumbo. You understand? It's a good disclaimer to help you because I need to protect myself and protect YouTube themselves. All right, listen.
Lex Show Daily Rants. It's a Lex Studios production in collaboration with other partners and platform. The show inspired to promote open, thoughtful discussions on current topics that affect us in our daily lives. We maintain a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination, racism, bigotry, or emotional manipulation. We are encouraging viewers to set personal biases aside and put your emotions behind your screen. All opinions expressed on various topics does not intended to convey hate toward anyone or place. All our topics and conversations are designed to foster societal learning and growth through open-minded discussion. Viewers are encouraged to engage with a balanced perspective, supporting informed and open-minded dialogue at their own discretion.
All right, we're back. All right. So quickly, let me show you. I'm gonna paint you a picture. All right, that you're gonna have to look at things from this perspective. I think it was last year. Is it last year or this? No, I think it was last year. Last year there was a story that was going on in France. And when I saw this story, let me take off my glasses. I'm too pissed off really right now. I'm way too mad. There was a story that happened last year. And this is it. You don't have to be a woman for you to think that this is some sadistic situation that shouldn't happen to anyone. But it does happen. Let me find the video for you. If you don't remember, I remember very well. Because you know why? Because I'm a father myself. I dare want any one of you motherfuckers to touch my kid. Nigga, I'm gonna hang you with your nuts. I will hang you with your nuts by myself. You touch my kid? Man, let us not even go there. Now, watch this video I'm about to show you right now. This is gonna trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. I'm warning you, it might trigger you. But this is the conversation that we need to realistically have with ourselves in our society, that we have a man's problem. Let's admit it, we do. Unfortunately, there are a lot of them, but not all of us. I have to be fair. There's a lot of them, but not all of us. Let me show you. This is the first one really that really fucking blew my mind. If you don't know this story, let's go.
The real hero of the year, Gisèle Pelicot's grape trial just ended in France, and all 51 grapists have been found guilty. Let's go through who some of these winners are and what their sentences are. This is one of the biggest mass grape trials in history. Gisèle Pelicot is a hero and a feminist icon for holding these men accountable. All 51 were found guilty of a variety of different charges, most of them grape. Then you have this coward here who's being tried in absentia because he's on the run. What a big, tough man. So her ex-husband, who orchestrated this whole thing, was found guilty and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. But there's 50 others, people who she thought were friends and neighbors. Let's take a look at some of these guys. This guy worked at the local supermarket. This guy admitted that it was grape and said that he wasn't really paying attention to whether or not Gisèle had consented or not. He sounds nice. This guy was a firefighter, a local business owner, a dad, married, denied that it was grape, said that he thought it was just a game. Super fun. This guy says he has no idea what was going on, but he was in the room with one of the other defendants at the same time. He was also the karate coach for the local police. But we're not done. This guy was just a local dude, butcher, married, dad. Then this kid was 22 years old on the day that he graped Gisèle. And not only that, he was in the military and he missed the birth of his daughter because he was busy graping another woman. This guy stuck with the party line, claiming that he just thought it was a fun game. So fun. This guy was found with hundreds of child abuse images on his person when he was arrested for graping Gisèle. He says that was true, but I didn't touch that old lady. Then this guy was inspired by Dominique and his ingenuity. So he took a page out of Dominique's book and drugged and raped his own wife and then invited Dominique to join in. My God, what a fun game for everybody. This guy got 5 years in prison for his crimes. Not only did he grape Gisèle, but his ex-partner believes that she might have been a victim of the same crime herself. This married father with a disabled son got 9 years in prison. He claimed it was a game too. Didn't realize that Gisèle was drugged. Another guy just having fun with the game. This guy was one of the only ones that Gisèle actually knew from before because he lived on her street. Nothing like a friendly neighborhood grape. This father of two decided to just pop on over to the Pelicot's house on New Year's Eve to grape Gisèle because he had nothing better to do. This guy at least had the balls to admit what he did. He graped her 6 times and he knew it was grape. He knew she was drugged and he admitted to it. 13 years. This guy tried to turn the tables and say that Dominique had drugged him. Nice try. This guy freely admitted to having a violent hatred towards women. He graped Gisèle 11 years ago when he was 23 and has since been convicted of graping 3 other of his former partners. So this guy is just a menace to women in general. This guy said he thought maybe Dominique had drugged him, but he appears active in 7 videos giving a thumbs up. Yeah. Another guy who tried to blame the husband exclusively. This guy tried to blame the husband and then also say that he was terrified of Dominique, and that's the only reason he did it. Then this guy hopped on that train and tried to blame the husband as well, saying that he was duped into doing it and that he was incapable of grape. This guy admitted it, but said he was reluctant. But he just did it to please Dominique, so I guess he knows how every single woman on earth feels. This guy said he didn't mean to grape Gisèle. He went to the house to have a sexual experience with Dominique, and that he just followed instructions. Computer expert here was also charged with possessing child imagery. Another one with a history of abusing partners. This guy thought it was a game and he was just following orders. 6 years, bye-bye. This guy decided to scope out the house. He visited the home in advance of the grape, disguised as an electrician so he could get a look at Gisèle. This winner was already in prison for graping his own daughter. This father of 3 took a page out of Trump's book and told the court that if he was going to grape a woman, he would have chosen a prettier one. Then there's this guy who denied the rape but has a history of violent abuse, burglary, and other assaults. So Gisèle Pelicot is an international hero and a feminist icon, and she gets all the flowers on earth today. Congratulations for bringing down a bunch of bad dudes. My hat's off to you. Respect, love, and may peace find you for every day for the rest of your life.
Amen. And I wish the same thing to our you see, we need to come to a time that I'm a man myself, and I can buoyantly tell you that has to be the most evil thing you could ever do to somebody that you call your wife. Literally. The most sadistic thing you could think about that you could do to another woman is what this man has done to this woman. And this was last year. And you read this thing and you're like thinking like, what kind of sadistic psychology do you have to have inside of you for you to do something like this to the woman that you choose? I mean, I just want to try to fathom what must be going through your mind that you will allow a lot of men to literally come and lay with your woman every day, seeing her literally not herself. What kind of pleasure do you get? That has to be some sadistic spirits that you have in your soul. That man, locking him off is not enough, man. They need to put him through what he put her through. You see, I'm a proponent of, I'm not saying that for an eye because it makes the whole village blind. But Jesus Christ, there's some things that you do like it's just beyond. Like it's one of the things you can't even continue to even want to say. What is in your head? Okay, did she wronged you? What the fuck did she did that deserved this sort of treatment? This is the someone you call your wife. Ladies and gentlemen, you would think that this was enough. You wonder why I said a couple of weeks ago, I said, this is the reason why the whole Epstein situation would never been able, we would never be able to come to a place whereby they can hold these people accountable. Because you know who is responsible? Us. Because we glorify those bastards. On the other side, you have degenerate, low life, the men that's supposed to be locked up out of the society. They do the same thing towards women. And this is why when you find those hateful feminazis, I do understand why. But the thing is, unfortunately, these are the complete bad eggs that we need to remove ourselves from. This is why I said if you watch this live stream, if you're a man, if you skip it, you're part of the problem. You are part of the problem. If what I'm saying hurting you, finally you're listening. This is another human. How do you feel? Let's flip it, because this is one of the ways that I really truly understood what empathy is. Let's flip it. How about this woman drugged her husband and she was bringing men after men to come and keep digging his hole in his ass? How would that fly? Wait. Let's wait for it. How do you think that is going to go if the role was reversed? If it was this woman that you're watching right now that went through this torture for over 20 years, how would you feel if she did this to her husband? Aren't we going to start a new propaganda? Oh, women are this and that. Yeah. How does it feel? How does it feel if the role was reversed? This is why I said we have some sadistic, fucked up men society problem in this world. We do have it, especially in this Western society. It's next fucking level that you will see something like this would transpire. Oh, you would think that was bad. This is why I said the whole Epstein Island situation, that there's never going to be a resolution. There's never. Now, I want you to watch this. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. I just want to show you, okay? This is latest from somebody that the Americans will know. You know Tim Tebow, right? He used to be an NFL quarterback. Watch.
Good morning, Chairman Hawley, Ranking Member Durbin, distinguished members of the committee. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and really a privilege and humbling to be here with all of you, Miss Julia, Miss Stacia, Yasmin, and Miss Jane. It really is humbling and feel unworthy to be sitting beside all of you. So thank you so much for your work. As you mentioned, I'm so blessed to be a part of the Tim Tebow Foundation, and we exist to bring faith, hope, and love to those needing a brighter day in their darkest hour of need. But to really sum it up, it's to fight for people that can't fight for themselves. And I believe that's exactly why we're here today. Several years ago, we were finishing a leadership meeting, and I looked at Camille, our VP of Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Exploitation, and she had a very sober look on her face. And I said, Camille, what is it? What's breaking your heart? And she wrote down the number 20,000. And I said, Camille, 20,000 what? And she said 20,000 boys and girls. That's the best guess of what law enforcement can see in rape and abuse images, but yet they're categorized as unknown, unidentified. So that led us to a meeting in Lyon, France with HSI, FBI, Interpol, Europol, NICMIC, Google, ONIMI, and 18 other countries to find out, okay, what actually is the closest thing to the truth? And it wasn't 20,000. It was 57,000 boys and girls in the ICSA database that have yet to be identified. And that led us to Renewed Hope 1, 2, and 3, which identified over 1,100 boys and girls, and over 550 of them have been safeguarded so far. And right now, 30 minutes away at C3, the Cyber Crime Center, which is just so many of the best investigators and agents that America has to offer. They really are incredible. We just came from there, and I just want to thank them because they are the tip of the spear and the best of the best. And right now, the biggest operation ever in the fight against child exploitation is taking place with 30 countries, 34 agencies, 94 investigators and victim identification specialists, and hopefully it will be one of the biggest operations ever in history. But the problem is that the number now is not 57,000. With all of the work that all of these people and amazing law enforcement agents and nonprofit NGOs are doing all around the world, the number is not 57,000 like we said 2 years ago. It's over 89,000. We are losing the battle and we are losing the war, and boys and girls are suffering for it. And to give you an idea of the scope of what's happening in America, there's a red dot map right over there over my right shoulder, and that's just a 6-month screenshot of the US. And every red dot that is on there is someone that is downloading, sharing, or distributing child rape images, almost all under the age of 12. And there's over 330 of them just in that 6-month screenshot. And we know that 55 to 85% of them are also hands-on offenders, and we know that your average offender has 13 victims in their lifetime. The scale of harm right here in America is, to a certain extent, hard to comprehend. But that's why we're here. And when you knock down one of those doors, you also have no idea how many boys and girls you're going to find. From Operation Renewed Hope 1, one of the doors that was knocked down, when they went in and seized his computer, they found that he also had raped 30 other boys and girls in that neighborhood.
Jesus Christ.
So there's a lot of work to do. And Ranking Member Durman, you're right. We have to be able to act. A little over a year ago, I was at one of our protection centers, and a protection center has extra security because there's still a bounty and a price on these girls and young women's lives. And I was walking through the counseling rooms, and I walk up to one of the counseling rooms, and it's this beautiful couch, and it's got teddy bears and toys and children's books in it. And right behind the couch, there's a window. And right behind the window is the wall, and it's the edge of the protection center. I look up to the top of the wall, and it's the razor wire all the way around the top. And I'm just looking at this picture, and it's a surreal picture because inside, those girls are going to be cherished and loved and protected and cared for. But on the outside, they went through an earthly form of hell. And I'm standing there looking at this picture, and one of our team members comes and whispers in my ear as I'm looking at this picture. And he said, man, isn't it such a thin line between tortured and treasured?
Yes, absolutely.
And he was right. It is a thin line between tortured and treasured.
Jesus
and
Christ.
You are that thin line. And all of you are that thin line. But we have to have more people on that line, and we have to do a whole lot more, and we have to do it faster. Because every day we wait, they're suffering, they're crying, and I believe right now many of them are praying that we would respond. But how are we really going to respond? Because I ultimately also believe that this is what we're called to do. And what is calling me, and in my opinion, the best definition is an urgent and divine invitation to accept responsibility for a particular task. But the question is, will we actually accept the responsibility of caring for these boys and girls and truly protecting them, or are we just going to continue to talk about it? Because there's so much we can do, but the question is, will we? Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me be a part.
Oh, my goodness. Man, I feel like pouring out my eyes right now. I swear to God. But this is what we deal with every day out there. Literally. I think I checked the other day. I did some calculation. I found out that I think annually in America, actually, no, I'm just talking about America. What about Australia? What about Spain? What about Switzerland? What about Germany? What about the remote countries, the third worlds? What about Indonesia? What about in Sudan? What about Congo? What about in Nigeria? What about Cameroon, Cape Town? Just name it. We have a problem in this world. Sadistic fetish. I don't even know what explanation. The Yoruba, the Nigerian me is trying to jump out right now. The level of evil that we have in this world. This is why the world is fucked up. Because we're targeting the most vulnerable set of people on the planet of this earth, which are kids and most women. We're targeting them every day because it's men that perpetrating this behavior. Because the good ones are silent. Keep quiet. I didn't do it. It's not my fault. It's not all men. But you would think that will be the end of it. No. Then until this morning, it's not this one. No, not this one. Then I woke up to this. I mean, you cannot make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot make this shit up. So if you're a man, because I checked the data, the people that actually consume my content, there are a lot of men. I think it's about 77% of men. Fellas, we have a problem. We have a serious motherfucking problem that we need to address. If you know any sadistic bastard out there that is doing this to kids, go and report him. Because like I said, how would you feel if this was your daughter or your sons? Sorry, just the randoms. How would you feel if this was your sons? How would you feel if it was your sons or your daughters that is getting attacked? How would you feel? This is why it's quite superly very important for us to get to a point whereby we need to start addressing things that we need to be addressed. We have a lot of problem in this world, and a lot of men need some fucking help. Like I said, the first one that I showed about the lady that was being groped by a lot of men in the hands of our own husband. Our husband will go and bring men outside to come and sleep with her while she's out of her head. What kind of sadistic fantasy is that? So just doggy style and missionary style is not enough. Now you need to start. And this shit is so bad that I said, this must be some fucking joke. Not in 2026. We're still seeing things like this. Men, we have some fucking problem. Because a lot of the good ones have been quiet too long. I don't want to be no fucking quiet. And I don't care if you're going to unfollow me after this because you think I'm caring towards women. Fuck you and you fuck your feelings. I don't care. You can unfollow me if you don't want to follow me because you think I'm leading to women. Screw you. Because we have a problem that needs to be addressed. A lot of men in this world, they need to go and get fucking help. I don't get up every day thinking that, you know what? Women today, man. Shit. I need to do something. Something is wrong in this world that needs to be addressed. Something is wrong in this world that seriously needs to be addressed. And today, I'll voice for women. The way I voice for men, I'm going to voice for women. Men, we need to get out there and start holding another man fucking accountable for horrific shit like this that they do towards women. This is not right. This is not right. There's nothing you can say that can change my mind. You understand? There is nothing you can say that can change my mind. Men, we have some fucking problem. This is not about picking a side. This is not against men against women. We need to hold ourselves accountable. If you know any degenerate out there, because you know your friends, fucking call them out, tell them to go and get help, or go and fucking report them. Now, I thought this was the end of it. Then you get this.
You know what the worst mansplaining is? All mansplaining. But when you're out here like, no, it's not 62 million men on a site where men can learn how to RAPE their partners and sell their partners' bodies without their knowing for money. Well, actually, it's 62 million views on a site where men can learn how to RAPE their partners and sell their partners' bodies without their knowing for money. Do you really not know how you sound right now? Stop making excuses and trying to poke holes. FYI, this line of thinking is just those things. It's being defensive, and my question for a man who is engaging like this, or also responding with the typical, oh, well, you know it's not all men BS, and women are just as bad, and misandry this and misandry that. My question is, what are you defending? You're defending this heinous behavior. That's what you're defending. Because if anything other than 62 million is crazy and unsurprising, and men as a collective not only need to be better, but they need to recognize the issue for what it is and take an active role in dismantling all of this, any response other than that is a defensive reaction. And I want to know what you're defending, because it's suspicious behavior. All of history is well-documented proof of violence and harm towards women at the hands of men. That same energy does not exist remotely anywhere close towards men from women. Any constraints or issues men have is due entirely to the system of patriarchy, a system that was set up by men. We gotta stop with the scapegoating and making excuses and blaming women. It has only allowed all of this, and I do mean all of this, to perpetuate. You can draw a direct line from, well, it's not all men, to this RAPE Academy. Wild. And like I said, anyone having any type of defensive reaction to this is suspicious.
Yes, it is suspicious. If you listen to that, data and information that 62 million men view, that might be 1 day, might be 2 days, might be 10 days, it doesn't matter. 62 million men. And even I've found out that they actually have a product. They use it to set up a product whereby they can buy products. So I can't even. I mean, it's just like an out of body experience that I'm having right now. I'm having an out of body experience that this is the last thing I ever thought in my lifetime. In this lifetime, I will go on social media and I'll find it to be a public knowledge that there are over 62 million men, or 62 million times, it doesn't fucking matter, that men will go and buy products so that they can put their wife in a almost death-like mood so you can grape them. Why? Why? What sort of fantasy do you have in your head that you need to accomplish, that it requires you to do the most unthinkable thing you can do to another human being, is to take them against their will? When you grape a woman, you're taking her against her will. Why is that some sort of pleasure for you? You fucking need help. I don't sugarcoat my words. You fucking need help. If the only time you can feel alive is when you find a woman half paralyzed, that you a sadistic mother sucker. That's who you are. If that is the only way you get some level of excitement, is when you see a woman, your own woman. Not to even talk of a stranger. Your own woman is when you see her that she's completely paralyzed. It's when you take her against her will. That's how you get pleasure. You are a fucking dinosaur. I don't subscribe to this. No, fuck that. No. This is why I said a lot of men need fucking help. And this is why I've always talked about empathy. Go and check my track record. I've been consistent with it. Empathy. We live in this fucking world. There is no more empathy. Because I checked online and there were a lot of men were coming up defending this. Yeah, but it's just context. It's a 60-something million visit. Does it even fucking matter? Should any man in 2023 scroll into your phone, scroll into your computer, go into a place so that you can watch something to take your wife against her will? Like, what the fuck? I mean, what the fuck is going on? This has to be some sadistic shit that I never thought in my lifetime that I could even want to comprehend. But the funniest thing is that it's the people that you least expect, the people that you see every day. Hi, neighbor. How you doing? They're your neighbors. Most of these sick bastards, they're your neighbors. They're the people that you see every day. But in the close of their own home, you don't know some of the most despicable things that people do in closed doors. We have a problem in this world, and man, we need to fucking step up. If you're quiet about this, you're part of the problem. Because I bet you, your sons will be there. This is why I get very passionate when a woman wrongfully accuses a man of doing something he didn't do. It fucking irritates me because this is a part of the problem. This is the classic case of it. Like I said in the first video, presume, imagine, the role was reversed. Imagine the role was reversed. Your wife drugged you up. And she invites a lot of men every day to come and stick it in you. Pause. No Didi. Huh? For them to come and stick it in you for 20 years. What do you think, or how do you think the world is going to take it? What kind of laws do you think they're going to pass? These sort of men, they need to be fucking locked up. Throw away the keys. Because they're cancer. And this is one of the things that I really realized what social media has done is that social media is not bad. Social media just highlights the degenerate things that you are. If you are one evil sadistic bastard, social media will give you the opportunity for you to be a sadistic bastard. It will enhance you. That's what social media does. That's what technology has always done. Technology has never been there to really, it might change some things here and there, but technology actually enhance. So if you're a sadistic individual in the first place, social media will make you more of that. You become more sadistic. You become more evil. It will give you more tools for you to find many ways. We have a man's problem. If you're a man watching this, if you're fucking quiet about this, you're part of the problem. Because the good men are paying for your consequences of the bad men. Like I've said again. Lectronomo strikes again. It's called the sins of the father. This is part of it. When you ask a woman for a number, when she doesn't want to give you a number, this is part of what you're talking about. When you want a piece of hash, she doesn't want to give you a piece of hash. This is what they're talking about. When you call them and shame, call them and whatever, this is part of what you're talking about. Because the good ones are quiet and silent because I would never talk to a woman that way. But you're quiet when you see some other man do it. This is some fucking a worldwide crisis. This is a worldwide crisis that needs to be addressed. So I'm not sugarcoating my word. I'm not here for you to follow me because I look pretty or I sound pretty or my accent is... I don't give a shit. It's about saying it the way it needs to be said. So if your spirit, if the demon in you can be convinced enough that you want to listen to me again, then you can subscribe. If not, fuck off. Literally. This is a problem that needs to be fucking addressed. I don't know what law they need to pass. All those people, this is why I said, the whole Epstein situation, this is why I said, I came here that day, people think, Lex, why are you talking about, you need to go and arrest the billionaires. The billionaires are the ones, what about the ones that are not billionaires? What about the ones that, they're sadistic bastards? I think I saw maybe a couple of years ago, there was a kid that escaped after being captured for over 10 or 12 years or something like that by couples. I think something in America. I can't find a video. I don't want to re-traumatize people enough already. But these are the things that goes on around in our lives every day. As I'm speaking to you right now, a kid, a son, a daughter, a woman, sometimes some men are being taken against their will right now. In this world right now. And we have some sadistic bastard that not only that they make money from it, but you and I will see them, we glorify them. Oh, look at them driving that Rolls Royce. Oh, look at living all flashy. But you don't know the degenerate shit they do. This is why the Epstein situation is so crazy because they will never be held accountable. This is why I said they cannot be held accountable because the trending effect, when you start going that rabbit hole, your neighbor will be arrested. You? Yes. The entanglement is so fucking crazy that it will scare the shit life out of you. We have a problem in this world that, man, we need to fucking step up. If you're a good man, if you know in your spirit you're a good man, speak up. Don't be fucking quiet. talk about other. If you know any degenerate bastard, go and report them. Because the thing is that we constantly keep doing this. We are just piling up pain after pain after pain after pain after pain after pain after violence after pain. We're just stacking it up on top of each other. That's what we're doing. As you want to get rid of one, there's about 500 billion underneath that needs to be addressed to. Because a lot of the good men have been completely quiet. Because I don't do it. It's not my fault. If you know any DJ, I don't care even though it's your father, go and report him. Even if it's your father, go and fucking report the bastard. We shouldn't be in a world whereby women will be too scared to be in the society that they need to lock themselves up inside. Because there's one dragon, one dinosaur out there looking to feast on them whenever you see them. It's natural for you to find a woman appealing because she looks beautiful, but doesn't mean you have to take her against her will. What the fuck is wrong with this world? I'm not a big fan of feminazis. Those one, I fucking hate men. And I do understand. I do understand their frustration. Because it's coming from a place of pain. Past experiences that's been stacked upon. This is passed on for years and years and years. But when you want to destroy some group of men, this is the only men that will be able to hold these other men accountable. But when you lump everybody in the same category, now you blur the line completely. This is why I said, the good men, we need to step up. You need to get out there, call things out when it needs to be called out. And fucking government, they don't care. This is why I said the whole government thing. Don't waste your time. It's me and you. We need to take account. If you know any degenerate bastard out there, go and report. Snitch. There should be an hotline for snitching. There should be an hotline for snitching. You can snitch on people that you know that are degenerate. If you have if you have anything like that and you know, go and snitch. Snitch. We have to completely kill off this mentality that the only time you get pleasure by taking people forcefully out of their will. That sort of control and dominance it's not what make any society function. I know this conversation is very triggering. I get it. And I need to be fair. This is not about, I say it again, I'm not picking a side. This is not about a man's situation. This is a world problem that we have. And men, we are on top of it. Yes. The more we keeping quiet, imagine we have a situation whereby the good celebrities, the politicians, the pastors, the people that really go out there, I'm not even calling all those people. You can find degenerate in all of them too. I'm not even surprised. And this is why there's so much hatred between men and women in this world, because we don't want to address shit like this. Like I say it again one more time. I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine you're this French woman. As a man. Tom. Steven. From Philly. Or from Marseille. Or from Paris. Or from London. Imagine. David. Your wife will poison you. Put you to sleep. Then she will ask another man to come and... For 20 years. And one day you finally find out. What would you do? Oh, I know what many of you would do. Oh, you damn skippy. This is why it needs to be addressed. I'm not partying to this. I do not subscribe to this idea that, oh, it's not all men. No, the good ones fucking start speaking up. Because guess what? They are looking at us from the same lens, from the same frame. I know I'm not going to get fellowship from this, but I don't give a shit. It's not about getting fellowship. It's about speaking. It's about saying things the way it needs to be said. Say it how people want to hear it. And that's how I give it to you. It's hot. This is not ESPN or First Take. But this is where we're going to divide it. We're going to divide degeneracy from authenticity. I'm not rage baiting. I'm not clout chasing. I'm somebody who's passionate and actually gives a shit about the world that I live in, because the pain, the agony that we've continuously display and show on ourselves every day, it's mentally, psychologically, it's tiring. It's exhausting. That the only thing we consume on social media every fucking day is some degenerate shit like this every day. This is the one that they found out. What about other ones that they can't even be found? They can say 62 million. What about other ones that they're not even subscribed or anything? They're not even doing it via Telegram or doing it via social media. What if they're even doing it in a special club? That everything is written down on a piece of paper. What about that one? What if it happens to your daughter? Yes, you. What if it happens to your daughter? What would you do then? This is why we need to fucking get up and speak about it. If it's men's situation, I talk about men's situation passionately. If it's women's situation, I'm going to fucking talk about it passionately too. Because fucking damn it, we're the only two living species. I mean, the human species. Out of everything on the planet of this earth, we are the worst. Of all the living creatures living on this earth, we are the worst people living on this. We are the worst thing in this earth. Every other thing is functioning the way nature is. Human beings, we are the worst. And the worst part of it is that we do this to ourselves every day. Because when it's time to speak the truth and hold people accountable, we won't do it. Nobody wants to be held accountable. Everybody will keep it looking for loophole to get away from shit. So if you're a father out there, if you want to be a father, if you want to be an uncle, if you want to be a grandfather, speak up. Call out these men. Raping women, it is not where it starts. If your sadistic fantasy is that you need to rape a woman, go admit yourself to a place, let them tie you down, castrate you, or do something to you. If not, they should create a whole village. You can live there by yourself. Stop causing more pain that will pile up on all the other pain that already existed. We don't need this shit. It is tiring. It is extremely tiring. Because the politicians are not going to speak this way because they cannot. They're kissing the sugar daddies, the corporation and the banks. They're kissing their asses every day. They're not going to speak like this to you. They're not going to tell you this because it is not how they need to address it a certain way so that people can digest it. No, fuck that. Screw that shit. The advocacy group, they cannot do it because, if you got to understand, there's an intellectual way. Fuck intellectual. Screw intellectual shit. In America, there's over 400,000 kids go missing every year. Google it if you think I'm lying. That is fucking yeah, in Australia too has another problem. Let me show you one again that will fucking blow your mind. When I talk about blow your mind, this shit will blow your mind. We have one year in Australia that happened, I think it was last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. This is a fucking problem. Some serious level of problem that needs to be fucking addressed. I'm not sugarcoating it. Because if one of these bastards ever touch my kids, Negro, please. Shit. Even the Undertaker will not be able to help you. Because we need to this is a problem. This is a problem. The Epstein file was a tips on the hide brought. Just imagine okay, hold on. Think about this for a second. Everybody talks about the Epstein file. What about other places that this happens, but they're still going on to today? Literally still going on till today. The elites, like I said, you see, when you have money doesn't change you the way people think. Money enhances you. Let me say it again. When you're rich, it enhances you. When you have knowledge about something, it enhances you. It enhances you to be that version of who you are before you had that money. If you're someone already right from get-go that you are a very degenerate, unspeakable human being, when you have more money, tell me what should be your best fantasies. All those things that you've always wanted to do in the first place. This video I'm about to show you, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. This happened here in Australia. And I'll show you. Watch.
A man has been charged with 70 offences, including child rape relating to children as young as 5 months old. Now, Victoria Police have applied for a suppression order to be lifted, meaning we can now reveal this man's identity for the first time. He is 26 years old and his name is Joshua. Now, there are 8 victims allegedly involved in this offending, but it's understood this man worked at 20 centres right around the state. Now, this has sparked a major public health response, with the parents of 1,200 children urged to get them tested for potential infectious diseases. Now, a full list of the centres this man worked at has been published on the state government website.
This happened here in Australia. And Australia is one of the I think was second in the world. We're only under 28 million, or let's say 28 million. Damn it. Let's say we're under 30 million. All right. Out of that, we are, according to data, Australia is part of the top 10 countries that consume child gripping materials. Yes. Google it. Top 10 in the world. This is a fucking problem. If you're a man watching this live stream, if you come across this live stream, if you said, who is this Negro screaming out his lungs? And you've said, oh, it's not all men, you're part of the problem. If you keep quiet, you're part of the problem. Let's go to the pause, man. Let's have some drinks on mate. Mate, yeah, mate, screw you and your mate. This is a problem. This is a fucking problem. Because many of you that soon to be fathers want to be fathers. Maybe I don't want kids. All this fucking, this world. Sometimes I just want the astronaut, whatever that thing come from the sky, to just fall down and just vamoose all of us. This happened here in Australia. This is not a second knowledge. As you can see yourself, I didn't make up the story. This is why we need to address this. The good men out there, if you know you identify yourself as a good man, you identify as a man, speak up. When you go, this weekend, I went to a bar. I see a lot of guys hanging up, chilling. They're just scrolling to their phone. This is sort of conversation they need to be addressed at. Bro, if you see this happen, call me out, man. Let's go report the guy. Don't on the life anyone, because that one too has another kind of consequences. Go and snitch on the guy. Let them lock him up. You're not going to get this sort of banter like this. You're not going to get it on the national TVs because it's too inflammatory. All right? The delivery is not as pleasant. It's not that easily digestible. And to put the cherry on top, it is not where you can promote or sell a product. Because I'm not giving you any product to buy. I'm not advertising you to buy toothpick or tell you to buy a t-shirt. So why should you care? You won't think it's a good production. But I tell you guys, I invest a lot of money into this because for me, it's about, I look at things, I project forward. Every social media that we have, they want to sell you products. They want you to buy a merchandise. They want you to connect to another business. It's not about giving you like raw or unfiltered content that will help you open your mind. Because people thinking is fucking illegal. It's like it's an illegal thing now for you to critically think. A lot of people cannot think. Then I'll keep banging the truth in your head. Your head must open to reality. This goes on in society, and this man here was a childcare worker. Over 1,200 kids were exposed to this man. I'm just saying. Yes, we have a problem. We need to acknowledge it. That is how you fix it. That's how the very first thing before you can come to a society whereby we can understand there's a problem is that we need to acknowledge there is a problem. And this, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care you're white, I don't care you're black, I don't care you're Asian, I don't care you're Middle Eastern, I don't care you're South American, Asian, it doesn't matter where you're from. This is a fucking problem. All of these, they are not good examples of the world that we should be having. And this is part of the thing that will foster back to the next generation. Then they'll repeat the same cycle again because one generation is going to avoid it because nobody wants to hold themselves responsible for this. And you'll be surprised, like I said, it's your neighbors. Because if they start holding, and a lot of people watch corn. Yes, watching corn is not a problem. But when you start downloading undespicable things, and you start creating group so that you can start sharing what you do to another human being by taking them against their will, you need to be locked up. Okay? This still works, right? Do this. It's a stress relief. It's free. But when they take it to this extent, oh man, this is the level of degeneracy that I never expect in 2026 that we'll still be dealing with. We're not even talking about the war that's going on with Iran. I can't even do any kind of politics-related conversation today because I saw this. I'm like, I've been sitting on this for the last few days now. I'm like, I said, not again. No, not again. Not fucking, but guess what? Nah, it's still going on to today. As I'm speaking to you right now, there's a kid somewhere, there's a woman somewhere, there's a boy somewhere, there's a man somewhere. Is going through this right now because this society is fucking degenerate. Yeah, this society is fucked up. See, there is no ifs about it. It is fucked up. This woman went through this for 20 years. Then you have another situation whereby even an ex-athlete, he couldn't even talk. He wanted to cry. That is how he felt. Because I'm sure he's a father himself. Imagine. Do you know what's crazy? Let me tell you something. A lot of people in that sitting right now, I promise you, one of them have the same material. I promise you. From this video right here, all these men, all these people that you see, one of them is on that thing. And he's sitting there. If they start investigating all the men over there, I promise you, they will find couple who have the same materials. And they'll sit there. Yeah, oh, that's really bad. But when they get home, and this is why the old BDSM and, tie people down, I don't get, why do I need to strangle you for me to feel excited? Why?
Emotional damage.
I'm emotionally damaged for this one, man. If you see me this passionate, it's because I fucking give a shit and I care. And I'm not doing this because so you can follow me. So if you don't like what I say, if it really offends you so much, you can unfollow me. Or you can unsubscribe. Or unsubscribe, whatever they call it. I don't give a shit. It's about saying things the way it needs to be said. I need to challenge that demon inside of your spirit. Is it a good demon or a bad demon? Because I'm pulling through what you're watching right now. There is, I'm in these settings here. You will find there are some men right there who will have the same material on the computers at home. Download it. We have a problem. Man, if you're a man, if you watch this video and you're quiet about it, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You are part of the problem. Because if people are complaining that something's happened to me every day and people say, give us more proof, more proof. How much fucking proof do you need? How much proof do you need? 60-something million. Ladies and gentlemen, 62 million visit to a place for you to buy material on how you can grope your woman. Let me show you. Oh my God. You understand? This is it. Let me even make it bigger. See? 62 million. Not all men, but 62 million. 62 million men. See, Millions of men around the world are reportedly messaging each other about how to drug and assault their partners. You read right. Huh? This is not a second knowledge. Married men asking other men for advice how to violate their spouses undetected, even sharing videos of their wrongdoing. That is some fucking sadistic world. CNN flipped over another rock and found evidence of chat rooms where men upload videos of groping their partners while they are out cold and sent it mostly on site, which CNN says it had 62 million views, mostly coming from IPs in USA. Ladies and gentlemen, the IPs usually come from places in America. We know IPs, people can put IPs anywhere in the world, but this is a world problem. It's right there. I'm not making this up. So if you're a man watching this live stream right now, send this video to another man to watch it and listen how I'm provoking your spirit. This is what we need. This fluffiness and sugarcoating it, because content. I'm not here. I'm not sponsored by any organization. I'm not being paid by any organization. I'm doing this out of my own free will, out of my own money, because I want to be one of those people that 50 years, 60 years from now, they say there are very few men out there who actually see things the way it need to be said. Huh? If you see my thing there, you see a paper, that is for you guys. If you guys want to help, so you can let me grow this, let me make this something it needs to be. I'm not paid by any organization, and I promise you, this is not even a second knowledge. No matter how much growth I get on YouTube, I will never compromise my integrity. Because when I didn't have nothing, I maintained my integrity. I cannot be bought nor sold. Say it again. I cannot be bought nor sold. Because the truth needs to be said. Because it's not about what benefit you're going to get now. It's about the consequences of that action now. What's going to happen tomorrow. It's been the same thing I have when I talk constantly on this social media, on YouTube. So, this is a problem that needs to be addressed. This is a situation that it's every man on the planet of this earth. We need to be part of the solution. We cannot leave this to women to deal with. Oh, women don't care about men, so why should I give a shit about women? Yeah, you should care, because you're going to be a father someday. And if you're not a father, you're going to be an uncle. If you're not an uncle, you're going to know somebody that knows somebody who is a father. So it's going to affect you one way or the other. So let's put down this shit. It's a man's problem. No, that's what I said. Every propaganda you can ever find in this world has always been a situation whereby we always trying to create a side. It's not just, no, it's a fucking problem. Don't forget about whose side it is. It is a problem. Let's address the problem. There is a problem in this world whereby, look at this. It says, CNN says 62 million views, mostly coming from hypees in USA. Right here. That is not I'm not making this shit up. This is right there. So forget about picking a side. This is not a man's side. This is a world side, because the thing is that who are the gateway to life? It's women. And I'm sorry if this is going to offend the LGBT, PS5 people. This is not to offend you. It's only a biological woman that can bring a child to this life. If we constantly treat them this way and throw them to the wolves, who the fuck is going to make the babies? Who? You? Your body is not designed to do it. So cut out this bullshit. It's not all men. Yes, duh. We know it's not all men. But what about the men that are supposed to speak and be quiet? Why? Why are you quiet? This is why I said the whole Epstein situation will never come to a conclusion, because look at it. 62 million views already. They're fantasizing. Let me tell you something. You can have all the fucking fantasy you want, but do you understand the word consent? Actually get the person to agree to do something like this. If that is skippy in your head that you really want to go through your fantasy, how about getting permission? Did you? No. You're going to forcefully, because it has to be that way. If a woman is asking you to go and squeeze her, that's a fantasy too. But when you're doing this, oh, it's a fucking problem. No, one of the things that gets said quite a lot is that, men are supposed to be leadership. This is where we see your leadership. Let me say another thing again that is quite very. I know the podcaster bros, the podcast broskis. It's a red pill. Men have to take leadership. Now let's see your leadership now. Andrew Tate, where are you? The Andrew Tate of this world, the whatever of this world, all these big YouTube. Where are you now? Where are you supposed when you need to talk? Because when feminazis are doing their own, we can jump on them. But where are you now to speak about this? 62 million visit. That is 62 million too much. If they didn't just click on it, they joined the group. Like Don King would say only in America. I need to find out. Actually, I add it to my buttons here. Only in America. You cannot make this shit up. So this is not thank you, Charlie, MGT, men go their own way. Man, this is where we see what your leadership is. This is what life have taught me, okay? This is what I've observed about life. And this is why I get very passionate when I talk. You know what the word righteousness means? Righteousness is not you hugging the Bible every day or hugging the Quran every day or hugging every literally textbook you can ever find on the planet. In fact, I don't care. They've written the book 5 billion years ago. Do you know what the principle of righteousness is? I don't care any Buddha or any monk to try to translate it to me. I'll translate it by what I see in this world every day. This is righteousness. Righteousness is you doing the right thing, especially when it's extremely difficult for you to do. That is what righteousness is. When you're willing to displease yourself to do the right thing, that is what righteousness is. All the postcard broski, the ones with the 5 billion followers, 10,000 billion followers, because they want to lie to you and sell you course. They will use ChatGPT to write them script. They will give you the script. They'll polish the script. They will give you all this kind of design on your face to man. They'll tell you make all this money. Oh, don't tell about women. You can find 5,000 ways about women. You're gonna do this. It's a whole lot of fucking bullshit. Righteousness. You know what? Righteousness has nothing to do with religion. It has the way you treat another fellow human being. This is why I'm one of those people. I don't read books. Yes, you heard me right.
Emotional, damn it.
I don't read books. I don't need you to influence me based on your opinion. But do you know what I want to see? I want to see your pattern of behavior. I want to see how you treat me. I don't want to hear about the book that you wrote. You can write all the books you want. In fact, you can be the lunar tone. You can tell me about every biological organism on the planet of this earth. I don't give a shit. I want to know how you treat me and how you treat other people tells me more about you. Because that in this world is so, what's the right word to use? It's not valued at all. Righteousness is doing the right thing, especially, in fact, you show your righteousness when you are ready to displease yourself on behalf of the interest of other people. That time that you should be selfish like a mother sucker, but you choose, I don't think this is right. The righteous thing to do is for me to do what I'm supposed to do because this is what will benefit this other person. That is righteousness. So ask yourself, how many people do you know realistically go through their life and live a life of righteousness? How many people? You want to tell me about this podcast broadcast, the ones that give you all these stupid word about, women need to be this, you have to be in a control, you have to be in the this and that, you have to, this is how you show a man. No, this is how you show a man. Let's hold these men accountable. These men, this 62 million view, get their IPs, give it to the police, let them do investigation. Any one of them that have transpired this, let them put them into justice. That is how we hold them accountable. So when women do it the other way, we can hold them accountable too. That is when we're trying to create a society whereby we are not picking side. We are putting things based on principle, morality. We can build some quorum of morality back into this world because we don't have any anymore, ladies and gentlemen. There is none no more. There is no more morality. Everyone is living based on their own selfish interests. As long as I get what I'm mine, I don't give a shit what's going on with you. I get mine. You get yours. You don't get yours. That's your problem. And that consists a lot of the problems that we have every fucking day. Out of every living organism living on this planet of this earth, we have the most power due to our knowledge and technology, but we are the most evil creature that live on this planet. It's not even a lion. A lion is more decent than some human being. A lion is more decent than most human being. A lion. Because they go based on what nature has provided them to do. But we human beings, we're sadistic marasuckers. Let's get back to the office if it's going to let me. All right, we're back. So if I said something that really hurt your feelings this afternoon here in Australia, I'm glad your feelings are hurt. I'm really glad your feelings are very hurt. Because it means that you're listening. Let's start holding this man accountable. Let me paint you a horrific picture. How would you feel as a man? Pause. No diddy. Your wife, you've been married for, let's say, 5-6 years. But for the next 20 years moving forward, your wife constantly drugged you up. Then she'll bring another man for them to come and run a train on you. For 20 years. You see my face, right? For 20 years, your wife will drug you and let men come and run a train on you. And every time you see your booty hole, you soar like a motherfucker. Pause. No diddy. For 20 years, your wife would tell men, she would drug you up, give you your best food, and put you to sleep. You wake up, you find out your booty hole is sore like a motherfucker. Say, why my booty hole sore like this? But you don't know it's your wife that's telling men to come out, run a train on you every night for 20 years. How would you feel? Because many of you say, man, I'm gonna get the bitch. That's what you're gonna say, right? Now imagine how she feels. And this is why I said constantly that we live in a society that lacks empathy. There is no more empathy. Every day, everybody gets out there to go seek their own selfish interest. They will destroy people's life to get whatever they want. There is no more righteousness. The pastor, they don't preach what they need to preach. The imam, they don't preach what they need to preach. They don't foster conversation about how we can bring empathy back into a more moralist society. But no, we're not going to get that. They're going to tell you why Muhammad is this, why Jesus is that. But every day we go out there, a lot of people, they don't believe in Muhammad nor believe in Jesus. And we're trying to coexist together. This is why there's a lot of separatism. Everything out there is trying to divide constantly. And we only function better when we do things together. This is why the whole world is how fucked up how it is. Man, we have a man's problem in this world. There are other men need to fucking get up. Don't be fucking quiet about it. Because you're going to lose a friend of 20 years, 30 years. It doesn't mean shit. Because you better lose that friend than the lives that you're going to destroy. You're going to destroy a lifetime life because you want to be quiet. 62 million views is 62 million too much. If you know those men, report them. Let them do investigation. If they find out they've done anything, arrest them and put them in jail. Bam. There is no ifs about it. If your sadistic fantasy is that you want to find women literally like flour, if that is your kick, go and lock yourself up somewhere and get some help. Because if you don't get consent, you shouldn't be doing that to someone. We even live in a world where you don't even get consent, you're getting in trouble. And you don't want to... Man, lock these bastards up, man. Lock them up. If they do investigation and find out that you're raping your own wife, which kind of word be this to your long? I mean, you cannot make this shit up. Ooh, sir. Ooh, sir. I know I said a lot of things many of you have in mind, but it just needs to be said. All right. Well, I have other things I want to talk about, but Jesus, man, I'm too pumped. I will say something that might get me canceled. Because a lot of men are the ones who watch my content because they don't expect me to say this. And I said it. We have a man's problem that needs to be addressed. And it's other men. I'm speaking to you as a man. This is not a woman's conversation at all. If you're a man watching me right now, I want you to start paying attention, observing this man you call your friend, your uncle, your father, your brother. What kind of kink they have? Tell them to go get help or go and snitch on them. Snitch. Snitching should be legal. It's called hotline. Another thing I don't want you to do, don't go and lie on somebody because you want to get their wife or you want to get their side bitches. Fuck that. Do things the righteous way. Do the right thing. I know there's a lot of music and movies about it. Do the right thing. Righteousness. You doing what is right, not because it benefits you, but it benefits other people. Think about the people you're going to help when you do the right thing. That is sort of conversation that we need to foster. Well, if you don't know who I am, I'm what you call the Decipher. All right? I go through the bullshit and I give it to you straight. Uncut, unfiltered. All right? Thank you for listening to my yap. Like I always say, thinking is not illegal. Thinking is not illegal. But you can pay me so I can